Hello, friends. How are you? I'm pretty good. My name is Mike. This is Health and Wealth. We're talking about Group D. This is the 12th edition. That's right. For 12 months now, they've been paying out every 4 weeks their distributions. They have 4 groups. They have A, B, C, and D. This is D. We reset back to Group A next week, which will be its 13th edition. So this video, we're talking about the distributions that are being paid out by YieldMax for the 12th time since they've come to that group. The first section of this video, we're going to be talking about the weekly payers. These pay out every single week. The announcement day is on Wednesdays normally, depending if there's holidays or not. And then after that is the X distribution day, which is tomorrow. So if you're new to these funds, understand that tomorrow the price should drop the amount of the distribution that I'm going to show you here in a second, depending on the market fluctuation. If the market goes up, then that's not going to drop as much. If the market goes down, it's going to drop even more. Okay, so not to be alarmed. Let's go over all of Group D right now. We got the good, the bad, the ugly, as I like to say. So some of these are incredible. Some of them, meh, right? They're okay. So let's go through them all. Like I said, the very first ones here are going to be the weekly. So the very first one is something that I've been very interested in the last couple of weeks, just kind of like steadily gaining more interest in this one. I'm not invested in this. I'll let you know which ones I am when I get there. And by the way, this is not financial advice. I'm just reading you the news that we got at 6:55 a.m. from YieldMax. So the very first one is ETF symbol CHPY, Chippy, which is the semiconductor portfolio, paying out 41 cents this week. That is really good. If memory serves, I believe it's usually around 39 cents every week, give or take a couple cents, but 41 cents, very, very good. Let's take a look at Chippy itself over here. Right on YieldMax's website, you can see the last couple of weeks. Oh, there we go. It was 42 cents last week. 38, 30, 39. So very, very consistent payer right here. Let's take a look at the share price. Doing great. Look over the last 5 days here, up 1.5%, well above its entry starting price here. It started well, right around $50. This says 45. I don't know if that's necessarily true. That happened one day before the bottom of the stock market, and then it started working its way up ever since then. So since it's come out up 22% in share price, do we see that continue? Not necessarily. If we have a downshift in the market, we're at all-time highs for a lot of things. I'm going to talk about that with RDTY later in the video. But definitely been very solid. One of the most solid funds over at YieldMax since it's come out. Look at all of the payments here. Let's see if the people love it or if they don't love it. $57 million. That's surprising to me. That's how much money of yours is in this fund. For something that is that reliable so far, quotes, just that 57 million is pretty interesting to me. It's got a good track record so far, that's for sure. CHPY again, 55.86. Let's go to the next one, GPTY, which is your AI tech portfolio. GPTY, I didn't even look there, you guys. Might happen a couple times this video. Paying out 36 cents. Let's go look at it compared to the weeks before. We're scrolling down here. 36, then 36 last week, 29, 29, 29, 30. So this seems to be on the higher end of this fund when it comes to distributions. It has been paying out since February. GPTY share price over the last 5 days is, let me do that, is up 0.87% or 40 cents. Decent share price here, 46.55, considering this thing came out in February with that huge dip. So actually January 24th, it came out, huge dip here, all the way down to $35. Since then, it's climbed back up $11. Plus, you're getting your distributions every single week. You've got to be happy with that. Similar to Chippy here, CHPY, with the amount of money in this fund, $59 million. But I mean, if you believe in AI, this could be a good play for you. Could be a good play for you. Here's a message from our sponsor. Moomoo is doing a promo right now where you can snag up to $1,000 in NVIDIA stock. And while your cash is parked, you earn 8.1% APY. Pretty solid. But if you're into options or even curious, this app's got some cool features. The options chain is totally customizable, so you can keep it super basic or really detailed. The strategy tab actually lets you build out different options plays even if you're just learning. And the analysis tool gives you a read on volatility so you know what you're working with. One of my favorite things, the unusual activity tracker. No paywall, no extra subscription. You can see the unusual trades happening plus rankings with filters that make it easy to find setups. It's a lot of power in one app. And you kick it off with NVIDIA shares for free. All right, welcome back. Next fund that we're going to talk about here is LFGY. This is a crypto play. It's been an interesting world in the crypto world right now. Paying out 51 cents this week with LFGY. Let's go compare it to the previous weeks here. It's up. It's up. Look at that. We're talking 3 weeks in a row of going higher and higher. So it is up to 51 cents now, which is pretty impressive stuff. 37 3 weeks ago, 46 last week, and 51 this week. GPTY. Let's go take a look at how much money is in this fund. Oh my goodness, I'm talking about LFGY. Holy smokes, you guys, so much going on over here today. LFGY. Wow. So this is out of those three is the most popular in terms of dollar amount in there, $191 million. I think a lot of the retail type, like myself, investors are heavy into crypto or starting to believe more and more in crypto. So that's probably why this fund is so heavily invested in. Out of the three, it's done the worst in the terms of share price. So 36.95 right now over the last 5 days, just up 14 cents or 0.38%. Nothing to write home about. So that's an interesting fund, LFGY. So out of the three, if you force me to pick out loud, I would pick CHPY. But I believe in NVIDIA as an example. NVIDIA is such a beast of a stock and of a company, right? So that's the leader of that one, and then you got all the other ones following up. Interesting funds for sure. Let's go to the 0 day to expiry funds. That's the QR and SDTY. So QDTY paying out 17 cents. Traditionally, this one doesn't pay a crazy amount. QDTY 17 cents. So 3 weeks in a row. The epitome of consistency here. 17 cents 3 weeks in a row. How much money is in this fund? 12 million, right? So it's quite a bit lower than those first three that we looked at. Expense ratio on this one is slightly higher as well than the 4 weeklies, right? Interesting, 1.01%. QDTY, how's the share price doing? 45.21 last 5 days. I keep saying 5 days because these go in 5-day cycles, right? They're weekly pairs. So up 0.56%, decent since it's come out. Down 10%. Not the end of the world though, because you are getting your distributions or your income every single week. Here's one that's quite interesting to me. It's RDTY. Yesterday, the Russell Index, that's what this one plays with, for the first time ever, met its all-time high, which is pretty impressive. So 29 cents on the RDTY here. This one, out of the three of them, pays the most every single week. Same as last week here, 29 cents, 25 the week before, 45 the couple weeks before that as well. Out of the three funds, I wonder which one has the most money. So far, QDTY does. This one's only 8.97 million. Strange, considering it does pay the most, and share price seems to be just as stable as the QDTY one so far. I mean, if we take a look since it's come out, it's down less than QDTY as well by 1%. Next up, we have SDTY. Yep, I was thinking salty there for a second. SDTY usually pays the lowest, right? This one's on the S&P 500 is the underlier. 15 cents on this one right now this week. Let's go compare it to previous weeks here. There we go. So all three of those are very consistently paying the same amount 2 weeks in a row. SDTY is always seemingly lower, but it's not as volatile as RDTY or the QDTY funds, right? So SDTY share price $45. Now, what's interesting is this fund is paying out less, but the share price is roughly the same as the other two. Over the last 5 weeks, it barely moved a penny here. Since it's come out, down 8%. So out of the three, it's fared the best in share price, but paid the least in distribution so far. If you force me to pick, out of the three of those, RDTY is the most interesting, but it's also the riskiest of the three. So you might have an SDTY to kind of like hedge your wild side a little bit here, and having a little bit of cash there put into SDTY. But I mean, if you force me, I'd pick RDTY, um, especially in an up market. Right now, in a down market, that's a different story. Let's go take a look at the newest out of the weeklies here. It is SLTY, or Salty, paying out 62 cents. Oh, wait, 1 second. Let's go backwards. I wanted to look at SDTY's AUM, assets under management, 14 million. So is that the most out of the three of them? 14 mil? Isn't that crazy, you guys? Like, it pays the least, but maybe what I said kind of made sense there. People have it as a safer income fund potentially. All right, Salty it is. Let's go find out SLTY. This is like the second or third distribution of SLTY. Did I miss it? Is it the first one? No, they paid last week, didn't they? What is going on here? Salty. I guess this is the first payment. I thought they had paid one before, but I guess I'm wrong about that. Okay, cool. So that is 62 cents. Now, Salty, this is a really dumbed down version of what it is. They pick the most volatile stocks that they think are going to go down in the stock market, and they bet on that. And so what they're hoping for is that these stocks go down a little bit, so they, get that income. So that's what their goal is here. It's a crazy fund, if you ask me. Share price since this has come out is down, but in the last week it's up 7 cents. This thing just came out August 21st, so just over a month ago. And it's down 13% already in share price. Traditionally, the inverse funds, this is what happens over here. So for me, it's a no, just because I've seen the performance of all of the other inverse funds, and other than income, income is basically what we're in it for, right? Other than income, the share price goes down. I say it with a smile on my face because we are going to talk about winter. Winter is coming later in this video. By the way, if you haven't hit the like or the subscribe, I got a bunch of people here that have not subscribed before. I would love to have you as a subscriber. I'm trying to get to 10,000 people. I need your help. And if you haven't done it yet, today's the day. Thank you very much. Let's talk about ULTY, ULTY. Another video coming out tomorrow. Tomorrow's the season finale of my ULTY video, by the way. Paying out 9 cents. Again, consistent, right? Consistent. It's either 10 or 9 cents for like at least the last 12, 15 weeks here. 9 cents yet again. So this is going to be the fifth week in a row of 9 cents. So we're looking at 45 cents have come back to us in the last 5 weeks. And then in the 5 weeks before that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks before that was 10 cents, right? So that was 60. That's like $1.05 we've got in the last 11 weeks here in distributions. And it just keeps going down the line here. And what's been good lately is that ULTY has somewhat stabilized in share price. There was a lot of fear going out there with the share price ding, 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 going down, but lately it's kind of flattened out. Plus, we're getting our income, which is good. Over the last 5 days, up 4 cents. And you can see what I'm talking about here with the going down from July 18th till now, down 12% share price. But if we can keep that thing stable, I would be a happy camper over here. Tomorrow's video, I'm going to talk about my margin payback with the purchasing of ULTY shares and how did that go. So let's take a look at ULTY in terms of assets under management. This is one of the bigger funds at YieldMax. People are loving it. $3.44 billion with a B over there. It's also one of the most expensive funds for us as consumers. They do spend a lot of time and management with this fund. It's actively managed. So it's going to cost us a little bit more money to have our money in this fund because they are spending so much time navigating this fund. But $3.44 billion on that. Share price, again, in the last 5 days here, up just over 0.5%, which is great. Let's talk about the last two weeklies here. Next one is YMAG. YMAG paying out 15 cents. Let's compare that to the weeks before here. Higher than the last. Wow, YMAG. Highest since August 20th here. So since a month ago, right? So August 13th was 16. So 15 cents on the YMAG. If we do the cycles, that shows me that this next week coming up should be the small week for YMAG. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but every 4 weeks, it seems to do a smaller pay here. There was an anomaly, but something to pay attention to for next week. YMAG has a lot of money in this fund, which means there's a lot of you who are invested in this fund. $413 million in this fund. Share price $15.74 over the last 5 days, just down 0.41%. If you take a look at this map here, it's been pretty even over the last 6 months. Actually, really even over the last 6 months. That's good. And I mean, in the last year, down quite a bit. But I mean, let's go from this high. May 14th was 1604 to now down 1% since May in share price. But you've gotten all of those distributions since then. That's pretty impressive stuff. YMAG seems to be very steady in terms of share price and in terms of distribution. You're going to get 3 decent weeks and 1 not so good week in there. Speaking of not so good, there's a little bit of flack on the online world. Here is YMAX paying out 8 cents, and I want to just share with you how has that done over the last few weeks here. 8 cents. We're looking at 4 cents cheaper or less than last week, and 8 cents is the lowest payment ever. Holy smokes, you guys, this might be the lowest payment ever on YMAX. People are not that impressed. Actually, I just made a video yesterday on YMAX, and I compared it to YETH. Oh, was it yesterday? Was it WPay? I compared it to WPay. That's what I did. And here we are, lowest payment in a very long time. YMAX share price actually went up today by 2 cents. So there shouldn't be too much of a drop tomorrow. There's the good news, right? Let's look for good news everywhere. Up 0.55% or 7 cents in the last 5 days. Take a look at the last year. Bit of a downcline there, but let's do the same day. Let's do around that May 14th till now, down 8% in share price. So it's just kind of steadily going down a little bit in share price. If you take a look at all of the YieldMax funds, their individual tickers, they are also somewhat going down in price as they pay out income every single week or 4-week cycle. I wonder if that has anything to do with the share price here of YMAX. So these were your weeklies. Again, if you haven't hit subscribe, if you consider hitting that today for me, that would be wonderful. I'd love to have you. And how's the live going? We're doing a live reveal of this video. Shout out to Clive the Diver. It was a diver. I always say it wrong. Shout out to Miles. Shout out to Nikki. Shout out to the Pauls. Everybody that's always in my lives. Shout out to all of you guys. Grumpy Toad, thank you for tuning in today. It's been really good. Let's get into the monthlies or the 4 weeklies next. So the first one we have here is AIYY. Paying out 13 cents. Is right. So 13 cents on this fund. I'm curious how much money is in this fund. You can see it's a little higher than the last 4-week cycle. If you catch me saying monthly, let's bring it back to 4 weeks. Pays out every 4 weeks. Why is that important? Well, These pay out every 4 weeks, which means they pay out 13 times a year. This group just happened, so it's not going to happen again this year. But 13 cents. AIYY, just a dismal $2.81 fund over here. Over the last month, it did go up a whopping with an H 1 cent. AIYY, how much money is in this fund here? Wow, that's insane to me, you guys. $83 million, but you got Chippy over here with what, 12 million in it? That's crazy talk, right? So AIYY. Next we have AMZ, 46 cents. Amazon did very well this month. Let's see how AMZY is doing here. So 49 cents the last 4 week cycle, and again this month was 46 cents. Interesting. AMZ's share price itself over the last 1 month period down 5.59%. Maybe Amazon didn't do well. It might be thinking of something else there, but this has been a fairly consistent share price. I mean, if we go back a year, it's down $5, but I mean, since the lows here, it's kind of just hanging out up 4%. And they had a big drop here July 30th. Which has a lot to do with that share price, but you are getting a good consistent distribution every single 4 weeks with some AMZ calls happening. Next, we have Apple Play here paying Apple Play, not, should I say Apple Play? Apple Pay, 35 cents for Apple here. It doesn't pay a lot. Apple doesn't pay a lot. It's not super volatile. Its implied volatility is not as high as some of these other companies, but 35 cents is better than last month by a whole penny. Share or amount of money in this fund, 155 million. It's one of the OGs that's been around for just about forever at YieldMax. And all of these monthlies tend to pay 0.99% in like a gross expense ratio, or I like to call it a management fee. Apple's share price hanging out here over the last month up 3.75%, which is pretty good for Apple. Since in the last year here, it's down 22% share price. But you're getting that distribution, right? Disso, 21 cents. Disso, 21 cents. Let's take a look a little bit more on this one here. A little bit lower than usual, isn't it, over here? Disso. Interesting. 21 cents. Excuse my scrolling. I got some curiosity over here. Let's go see how much money is in this fund over here. 42 million. Not a ton of money in that one. But here you go. You can see here $12.95 share price over the last month, down 4.64%. The last couple of days, for some reason, it really came down here. I don't know why, but next one, the one that I'm very interested in. By the way, I've got ULTY in the weeklies. That's my one weekly that I have. My next one here is MSTY, and more to come tomorrow on the margin that I took out. I had a repayment program in, and it happened. We made it happen with this MSTY payment. I needed it to be at least 65 cents, and here we are with $1.01. Margin paid back in full in under 1 month, which is fantastic. Rinse and then repeat. That's the plan over here. So MSTY paid $1.01. It hasn't gone under $1 yet. Let's knock on wood. Not looking good. Like it's gonna maintain that over the dollar mark forever. The implied volatility at MSTR has significantly decreased, which means that they're not making as much money on their calls over at MSTY. Thus, the premium or the amount that we get in distribution goes down. $1. MSTY has been an absolute beast of a fund for the last 17, 18 months here. You can see every single month in the last 5, it's gone down in distribution. So has the implied volatility over at MSTR. That's something to pay attention to. That is the main reason this is going down in distribution amount. So we're at $1.01 this month. This is still YieldMax's #1 fund, but it is getting close to some other ones out there. 4.55 billion. Used to have well over $5 billion, but that's come down with the volatility, implied volatility. Interesting. So MSTY share price 1537 last month here, down 9.21% in share price. That's almost 10%. Not good for share price. You know, I have 407 shares of this. It's my it's not by far, but it's the most money I have in any fund is MSTY right now. Not by far. It's very close to Nvidia. But yeah, I'm still not fully paid back on MSTY. I bet you it's going to take another like 10 to 15 months before that happens. If you look at the last 6 months, very volatile, down 33% in share price. July 16th till now, down 33%. That has a lot to do with it from July 16th. If you want to know more, go back to July 16th, see what happened in the world, and then let me know in the comments. I'm curious. Next we have SMCY people. The people. They got the pitchforks. They got the little the torch, and they are ready to go. 91 cents on SMCY. People were wondering why it was so low. I don't have the answer. But 91 cents, you can see it's way lower than every single other month so far that it's paid out. Interesting here. How much money is in SMCY? Wow, so it's a fairly big fund, $354 million. Let's look at the last month in share price, down 2% share price. I mean, this drop right here had a lot to do with it from September 3rd, so 21 days ago to today. It's up 14% in share price. So I don't know. That's tough to say why the distribution was lower. I guess maybe always has something to do with implied volatility. Maybe because they had such a rough start to that month there. Maybe they had to pay out a synthetic. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but 91 cents on a $16 ETF is pretty good. You know, you get paid it if that maintained, everything maintained, you get paid back in a year and a half. Life's good. Here is the winner of Group D in terms of distribution. It's Winter WNTR paying out $3.29. This is a beast of a payment for Winter. When MSTY is going down, Winter should be going up, and that's exactly what's happening right now. Huge payment for Winter right now. Biggest payment so far. This is going to be its sixth payment already, which is crazy to think. How much money is in Winter? $32 million. Not a lot of money. Share price, though, did go up just a hair, up 1.21% this month. Since it's come out, down 31%. Came out March 27th. Actually, I had no idea it's been out this long. Did you guys know that? Seems like it just came out. But wow, March 27th. That's interesting. We got a couple left. We got X, Y, Z, Y. Said Z for you in America. Z for us Canadians. 27 cents here. Let's take a look at some further details. Low compared to usual. 27 cents. How much money is in this fund? 76 million in this fund. Interesting. So is this Square? I always get this one mixed up. I mean, that has a lot to do with it, everybody. The share price has a lot to do with the distribution being lower. In the last month, down, let's call it 8% in the last 30 days or whatever it is, 20 business days minus a holiday in there, down 81 cents, i.e. last year here, down 47%. There you go. Let's move on to an inverse fund. The last one on our list today, 21 cents for YQQQ. And 21 cents is pretty standard for this one, right? 23 the month before, 17, 23, 26, 43. How much money is in this fund? Saw a lot of people online talking about this recently, actually, with the downturn thought process of the market. Might not be a terrible option, but 13 million in this one. Share price $13 over the last month, down 4.5%. Since the last year, down 30%, and since it's come out, which was just over a year ago, it's been out August 16th, 2024 here. Down 33% share price. This right here had a big April 4th till now, had a big downswing. Why? Because this is an inverse fund. The stock market has gone up since April 4th. So that means inversely, is that a word? Inversely, it's gone down 28% in that time. If the market goes down, then this should go up, hypothetically speaking, depending on how well YieldMax navigates their payments. Okay, that's what's important. By the way, last time I'm going to mention, if you haven't hit subscribe, we're trying to get to 10,000 people. Is it here? The subscribe button. Thank you so much for hitting the subscribe. This is Group D. I personally like Group D out of all of them the most because I've got MSTY, I've got ULTY, which is every single week, but I always get excited for the MSTY distributions. That excitement will start to wear off if this thing starts to drip or dip below $1. But for now, I'm happy. I continue to get that money. I'm going to go ahead and buy things with that money. When I say things, more investments, because I'm trying to get ahead as fast as humanly possible. And if you're a like-minded person, thank you for tuning in. My name is Mike. This is Health and Wealth. Have a great night. Bye for now.